All right, let's begin the broadcast with breaking updates now coming in. The United States has carried out what it described as self-defense strikes inside Iran, marking another escalation in the tensions around the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. Central Command has confirmed strikes in southern Iran, saying the action was aimed at protecting American troops from threats posed by Iranian forces. U.S. forces targeted Iranian missile launch sites as well as boats allegedly involved in laying mines near the Strait of Hormuz. Let's go across to my colleague Mayank joining us on the broadcast with the details. Mayank, this comes at a time when there are peace talks that are still ongoing between the United States and Iran. U.S. has conducted strikes in Iran, and the U.S. says these strikes were done in self-defense. What does this mean for the peace deal? What are the details of these strikes?
Pratibha, it was on 8th of April that the ceasefire started. And when we see this, the kind of hard power now, military power which has been used, it is definitely a breach of ceasefire, and that we need to see how Iran is going to react to this in particular. But then the kind of information which is coming out, the strikes took place in the southern part of Iran. And they were aimed at, certain areas, specifically talking about, as the reports have come out, and CENTCOM itself has officially said that they had been targeting the missile bases and silos, which is sighting of the missiles in different areas, which fire the projectile on the enemy areas or on the other side. So in this case, and the term self-defense has been used by CENTCOM. Also, the other area of strike was Strait of Hormuz, which generally has seen and has become one of the biggest problem as of now for the immediate, actually, because longer problem is nuclear aspect. The Iran had to agree, as the US had been saying, that they won't give any kind of a concession on at least nuclear enrichment or assembling of the nuclear weapon in future, as the aim of the Operation Epic Fury from 28th of Feb had been. So what you see willy-nilly, it boils down to a position that ceasefire has been breached, but we need to wait and watch how Iran is going to react, because they had been showing last week, almost a fortnight back, they had shown that they still have drones and missiles, because they had carried out attacks in UAE.
Yes.
Yeah, Pratibha.
Yes. Okay, Mayank, stay with us. Let's also get our viewers more updates coming in. More breaking updates coming in of the US President Donald Trump laying down some tough conditions for any future nuclear deal with Iran, putting Tehran's uranium stockpile at the center of these negotiations. Now, Trump has demanded that Iran hand over its enriched uranium, insisting that the material must either be destroyed immediately or must be placed under strict US supervised disposal. He also said that the destruction process could happen in front of the Atomic Agency, signaling a push for international monitoring and verification. So the negotiations are continuing. And here is what Trump has gone on to say. He has taken to social media with that confirmation. And this is what he says. The enriched uranium, and then in brackets he says nuclear dust, will either be immediately turned over to the United States to be brought home and destroyed, or preferably in conjunction and coordination with the Islamic Republic of Iran, destroyed in a place or at another acceptable location, with the Atomic Energy Commission or its equivalent being a witness to this process and event. Thank you for your attention to the matter. And then he signs off by saying DJT. Mayank, what does this mean? How technically sound is it going to be for all the enriched uranium to be handed over to the United States? Is this technically possible? And also, how long could it take all the enriched uranium to be handed over to the United States? That's the demand by Trump.
Pratibha, it is an intricate process, and the country which has to store the uranium, it needs to have a different kind of a capability to store that. Let me bring back JCOP, Joint Comprehensive Plan of April 2015, in which one of the decisions was that, and Iran had agreed to hand over its 440 kg of uranium to Russia, because it has technology and capability to store such kind of enriched fissile material. It is dangerous to store such kind of a material, but then it is done in a particular manner, and for that you require technology and capability. So in this case, whatever President Donald Trump is saying is for destruction he's talking about. And mind it, since 1 month, there had been talks and the kind of reports which came out that Iran had to agree to a moratorium for almost 20 years. Then suddenly an offer came out that Iran was, saying that it will agree for a moratorium for almost 5 years. Mind it, Operation Epic Fury on 28th of April started with almost three defined goals. And first of them was, apart from regime change, the second part was that they would destroy the capability of Iran to carry out enrichment, and to assemble a nuclear weapon. So what you see is actually the entire process is for that. Only the stalemate, apart from the Strait of Hormuz, has been for this specific reason. Because JD Vance, on 11th of April, when indirect talk took place in Islamabad, he had spoken for the first time that talk could not go ahead because of disagreement on nuclear offers and points.
Absolutely. So US has been very clear that this is non-negotiable, but Iran has also said that when there is trust deficit, the peace talks can't go on. Mayank, thank you for joining us with all those details.